All right, so we are going to get started with our first hands-on activity. So I need everybody to locate, if you have a kit that was mailed to you, please locate in your kit these items that we are going to use for this hands-on activity. We will use our CDs. We will use these printouts. So we should all have 2 horse printouts and 2 blank printouts. So we'll need those. We will need a roll of tape like this one and a pair of scissors. So we should have a CD, tape, scissors, and also our marble we can use for today for this activity. So our first activity, we will be making something called a zoetrope. So this is what it's going to look like when you're done. And you can see this was one of the first versions of an animated movie that was invented almost or over 200 years ago. These zoetropes were used to make little animated movies for people who had never seen something like this before. Before movies were invented, people would watch these zoetropes. So we are going to make some of these today. So the first thing that we will be doing is finding our printout with the horses on it. So we want to have both horse printouts. And what we're going to do first is just cut these rectangles out. So we just want to cut off all the extra space around the edges so that we just have the main rectangle here. So you can all follow along and cut out one like this and one like this. And once we have these 2 horse zoetrope pieces cut out, then we can fold on the white dotted line. So I'm going to finish cutting this one. So we should have 2 horse pieces cut out like this. And then we're just going to fold on the dotted line so that the horses are showing on the outside. So I'm going to do one and then the other. Both of these we're going to just fold on the dotted line like this. All right. So these are going to be put together like so. If you're a little bit behind, that's fine. You can always catch up, but we are going to keep going. So we have 2 cut out pieces of our horses and they're folded on the white dotted lines so that we can see the horses. The next thing we're going to do is take our pair of scissors and just cut these white rectangles out so that we make little gaps in our zoetrope like that. So we're just going to cut out all these little white rectangles. And while we're cutting out the white rectangles, we can start to think about how this zoetrope works and how animation works in general. So we see on this horse example, lots of little pictures of this horse running. And in each picture, the horse's legs is in a slightly different position. So as we turn the wheel, if we look through these little openings that we're cutting out right now, we'll see a different horse at every second. As it turns, we get a series of images flash before our eyes of all these horses with their legs in slightly different positions. And as that turns, what happens is our brain and our eyes kind of stitch those individual images together And we start to believe that what we're seeing is one image that's moving instead of a lot of image where they're all a lot of different images where they're all have their legs in different positions. So that's how animation works in a zoetrope. And it's also essentially how animation works in an animated movie, except for that in a movie, each individual picture is like an individual frame of the movie, and they all are just shown one after the other. And our brain interprets these series of images as one continuous motion. So I am almost done cutting out these little windows. And once I'm finished with the windows, what we're going to do is we are going to tape these two pieces together with our roll of tape so that the horses join next to each other like this. So I'm going to get my tape, take a little piece of tape, and put these two together. And we're going to tape it together like so. Okay, so now we have this strip, and we should have them all cut out like so. And then we're going to take our CD and we're going to wrap this around our CD so that we make a nice circle. So we can start by getting a piece of tape. Okay, I'll slow down for people. I see a lot of people are still cutting out their rectangles. Is anybody finished cutting out their rectangles? Are we all cutting out rectangles right now? All right. So it's okay if you're still cutting. I'm just going to show you what you're going to do next so that you will be ready to go when you are done cutting. So I'm going to just, let's see, I'm going to start on the end here and put a piece of tape like that. And then I'm going to tape it to the CD so that the horses are facing the inside and the black part is on the outside of the CD. And we are going to be patient with ourselves because this is kind of a tricky thing to do. And if we start to get frustrated, we can take a little break. Okay, so once you have one part taped down. Oh, this is a good question in the chat. Do these CDs have anything on them? These are blank CDs. But I think you might be able to burn something to them if you have a computer with a CD drive, which fewer and fewer people have these days. Okay, so I'm going to just keep taping this to the CD with the black part. So yeah, so we should have our two horse pieces are taped together here. And they both go together to go around this CD. All right. So once this whole thing is taped on, I'm going to get one more piece of tape. Then you can start to spin it. And there's two ways to spin it. You can spin it on your finger. And you should be able to kind of see the movie play. You'll have to look through these little holes as you do it. That's kind of the best way to get the movie. You can also take the marble, if you've got a marble in your kit, and you can put the marble in the bottom of the CD like this and tape it in from the top. So if we put the marble in the bottom and tape it in from the top, like so, then we can also try to, let's see, we can try to spin it on the marble like this. And that can make it go a little faster. So we can see the horse running. Can everybody see the horse running? There it goes. So you have another printout of a zoetrope. This one is blank. You should have 2 blank pieces. So for this one, you can draw your own. You can draw your own images. I recommend drawing 11 images, each one directly below one of these white rectangles, and try to make the images almost exactly the same, except for change one little thing. And you can play around with how to get it to look like it's moving, like this horse. So everybody take a look at all these horse pictures and see what you notice about how they're aligned on the page and how they are similar and different from one another. So each image has a lot of similarities. That's what kind of allows our mind to stitch the images together so that we believe that it's one continuous motion, because so many of the images overlap. But then also each image is slightly different. So these legs, each horse has a slightly different positioning of its legs. And that's what makes it look like the horse is running when we turn the zoetrope. So I encourage you all to experiment with creating your own animation on the template, on the blank template zoetrope, and try to draw a different image under each of the rectangles and see if you can do the same process that we did with our horse example with your own animation. See if you can make something jump in the air or run around or move, clap your hands, some kind of, you could do a stick figure dancing. So I encourage you all to explore and experiment and make your own animation on one of these zoetropes. And I think that is going to be the end of our first activity. One fun fact about zoetrope, if you're curious, the word zoetrope comes from zoo, which means life, like when we go to the zoo, and tropos, which means turning. So it's like this thing comes alive when we turn the wheel. So that's where zoetrope comes from. Anyways, thank you all for participating with me. This was a great activity. I hope you all enjoyed it. Up next, we will be having our intermission. So we're going to take 5 minutes to take a little break, watch a song. You can keep working on your zoetrope. During the intermission, we ask that the adults in the audience answer another set of poll questions. So this poll is 3 questions long. You should be able to finish up quickly and enjoy the rest of the intermission. So everybody enjoy the break.
There are 8 planets in the solar system. We revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets. Now sing along and have some fun. My name is Mercury. I'm the second hottest planet, the closest one to the sun. A year on my surface is 88 days. I'm the smallest, but I'm lots of fun. My name is Venus. I'm the hottest planet, but the second planet from the sun. I'm the brightest planet in our solar system, and I'm too hot for anyone. My name is Earth, and I'm the planet you live on, the third planet from the sun. I'm the only planet with organic life, so take care of me, 'cause we're all one. My name is Mars, I am red in color, I'm the fourth planet from the sun. I have the highest mountain in our solar system, a volcano named Olympus Mons. There are 8 planets in the solar system, we revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets, now sing along and have some fun. My name is Jupiter, I am covered in clouds, I'm the 5th planet from the sun. My giant red spot is a raging storm, as for size I'm the biggest one. My name is Saturn, I am brown in color, I'm the 6th planet from the sun. My outer rings are extremely thin, they're made of dust and icy chunks. My name's Uranus, I am blue in color, I'm the 7th planet from the sun. Humans have named me the icy planet because I am the coldest one. My name is Neptune, I am blue in color, I'm the 8th planet from the sun. I have too many storms in my atmosphere, and I'm the furthest planet from the sun. There are 8 planets in our solar system, we revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets, now sing along and have some fun.
All right, I hope everybody enjoyed that video as much as I did. I know I have been having that song stuck in my head. I hope everybody also got a chance to answer our poll questions. We really appreciate you all filling out the poll. So it is time for our second activity, which is related to our theme, Reach for the Stars. So we are going to be making telescopes that will help us observe the night sky today. For our telescopes, we will be using the 2 sheets of colorful paper and the 2 lenses that are in your kit, as well as tape and stickers. So the stickers are going to be to decorate our telescopes today. So the first thing we're going to do to make our telescopes is find one of these colorful pieces of paper and roll it up into a tube. And we're going to try to make the tube around the same size as our lenses. So we're going to try to roll it up and match the size to the lens. And then once we think we have the right size, we can take a piece of tape and tape it right to that size. Just like that. Okay, so once we have this tube, we can start to look at our lenses. We have 2 lenses today. They are a type of lens called planar convex. So this means that on one side, they're flat, and on the other side, they bulge out. And these lenses will bend light so that it will make things look different and also can help zoom in on some things. So everybody take a moment to look at your lens. What does it look like when you look through the lens? You can look through it with the camera. What does it look like when you hold the lens up to something else, like some writing? What happens? Let's see in the chat. So some people say it looks blurry when they look through the lens. That's right. That's what I see too. Everything's all blurry. What happens when you hold it up to some text or something on the table? What does the lens do when we hold it above things? Stuff becomes bigger, exactly, because this lens is bending the light. So as the light reflects off of the paper and into our eye, the lens bends it so that it looks like it's closer to us. So now I want everybody to try holding up the two lenses like this, align them, and then hold them up to your eye and see what happens when you hold one lens really close to your eye and put the other one and move it further away and closer to you. Does anybody see? This is why. What happens? Yeah, so it makes things bigger, makes things blurry, magnifies it. Exactly. Everything is close and big. It's upside down. Exactly. So when we look through two lenses, things turn upside down. And that's also because of the way that the lenses are bending the light as they pass through them. And so that's what we're going to use them for our telescopes, to magnify things outside. And it's also going to be upside down. So that's going to be kind of fun. All right, so once we have our tube, we're going to put our lens right in the end and just tape it in place right there. So we're going to tape this lens like this. And we're going to tape it on the other side too. I think that's the best way to do it. Just get two pieces of tape, one on each edge. And then we're going to take our second piece of paper. We're going to roll that up. And we're going to make sure that it fits into our first tube. And then we're going to tape it like that. So now we have this second roll, and this second roll should be able to slide in and out, all the way in and all the way out. And then we're going to take our second lens and we're going to tape it in. It doesn't matter which way we tape our lenses in today. So we can tape our lens any way we feel inspired to do it. I like to tape it so that the flat end is on the outside, and that way my telescope has a streamlined profile. All right, so now what we should be able to do is look through our telescope and pull and push so that we find the sweet spot, the focal point where the two lenses work together and everything comes into focus. So it should be kind of blurry when it's fully extended like this. Everything's kind of blurry. And then when you push it in, if you keep pushing, you should get to a point where everything becomes clear. And it's all upside down, but also clear and focused. So this is our telescope, and you can feel free to decorate the outside or the inside with stickers or draw on it, whichever way you like. Yeah, so tape the paper into two tubes, put a lens on one end, fit this one in, and then put a lens on the other. And then we can slide them in and out like so. And I've put a piece of tape here on my tube and another piece of tape here on my tube to keep the papers rolled up. All right.